Put something on it. Good afternoon, evening, Edmondson Heights. Welcome to the Edmondson Heights Civic Association community meeting for December 5th of 2023. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I do hope Christmas coming up is good to most of you because everybody don't deserve something for Christmas. I'm just going to say it. I am going to make this collectively are going to make this short and sweet tonight because Mother Hubbard's agenda is kind of bare, but that's a good thing. We do want Officer Benz Clark to come in. She had some safety tips she wanted to give us. Also, I'm sorry for sending the meeting invite out late. I don't know what day it is. I'd like to welcome Miss Fatima from Delegate McCaskill's office. We don't have, just so you know.
That's fine with me. I'm hoarse. I can't talk. I don't know what's going on. But I'm just here. Delegate McCaskill just wanted me to check in. I'll probably stay the first 15, 20 minutes. And if it's something you all need to discuss without the, outsiders and constituents, just tell me. That's the, end of your guess.
Gotcha.
Thank
you. Thank you. And we're probably going to have people just kind of popping in a little bit. My hope, my undercover joke to myself is that at some point they'll pop in and we'll all be gone. I am in the process of making chicken and dumplings right now. So I have nothing but time. But first, tomorrow, Vice President Angela Lloyd and I will be attending I want to call it a meeting with the Neighbor Space group. I guess it'll be Be Green. Neighbor Space and Be Green are kind of the same thing, and I think Neighbor Space is who we're working with, and they work with Be Green. It's a collective group of environmental groups and churches and things like that. I was taking a course that was given by Interfaith Chesapeake somebody to become a green leader. It's a 3-day class. I took 1 day, forgot about the rest, just like I forgot about this, but I did sign up to take it again in March. And with that, it'll just so that we can I can be a part of managing our green space. And I have no idea what I'm doing it for anymore because I started out doing it with Mayo, Maryland schools. I'll just say it that way. It's environmental schools. They're teaching environmental topics and things. So I'm trying to kind of work on both and become a green leader, because one thing I did learn is that in schools, there are not a great deal of Black green leaders. So I'm Captain Save School. So I figured, let me, if there was a way that I could help with that, then I wanted to be able to help. So I'm working on it. That's just the thing. But the meeting with Be Green tomorrow evening, it's the second event. It's the second one with them that I've gone to. Angela is going with me, and we get to, they help us kind of come up with a partial plan for how we want to use. We have grant funding. We've been awarded grant funding. I think it's like $16,000 to kind of make over our green space. It started with Edmondson Heights Park, but there's stuff that the government agencies that we've kind of shaken them a little bit, and they've said, okay, we'll do some stuff we're going to let them do their stuff that the taxpayers pay for, and the things that could be done in the neighborhood that this grant payout could pay for. I'd like for us to use it that way. I need you guys' participation and your thoughts on what we can do. It's like the median, we have the triangle. What are the things that we can do? If we look for it to all come from my head, everything will look like my front yard and just have blue lights on it. So that's what I did for my yard. I could do the same for the community, but we just need something that all of us can come up with, and or as many of us as we can come up with and say, this is how we'd like for the community to look. The team came out, I think 2 weeks ago, and they took a walk through some of the space, and we went to the park. We went to the median. There's an email about the trees in the median. I didn't open it, sorry. And we went to the triangle, and the triangle, and I don't know if you know where the triangle is. The triangle is, if you're going, it's Forest Park going up towards Newfield Road, and it divides.
Yeah.
It divides, and that part with the trees and the whole divide there's in the shape of a triangle, and so we call it the triangle. And it was what can be done with this. The thoughts of it being a dog park came up, which would require other stuff. I thought, let's put we put a bench or two, and the biggest thing that whatever they talk about, because they also talk about tree canopies, which just lining the streets with trees. But I always think about safety, and would we feel safe with so many trees? When I saw the trees planted at the outside of the elementary school, the first thing I thought was, oh gosh, I mean, I just thought it just wouldn't be safe for us. Not that it will, not that it won't, but that's my first impression. And as my therapist says, that's a part of my core values. But is that something that we want? Is it something we're interested in? If I can say that if anyone is interested in having trees planted in their yard, we can make that happen. But I would really, when the time comes, would rather our community say what we would like. I think they're getting there is a, what do you call it? I think she's an architect involved, or a landscaper, and she's going to put together some designs for what it could look like. The thing is, she's going to be paid from the grant funds, and whatever. I mean, if anybody has a grandkid that could draw some trees and some triangles and stuff, we can do that too. But I definitely, whatever funding we can keep to go towards action and putting into the neighborhood instead of services, that would be great. But overall, what I'm asking is that when the time comes, I'm saying that I hope you guys have a couple of words to say and want to have some input on that. The median on Harwell, I'm gonna send out a date and a time, but the board decided that we would just put up some Christmas lights, and just last year we had, we had wreaths put up and they were stolen, and it was very easy to go, you know what, we're just not gonna do anything anymore. So this year we're gonna do more. And it's just simple, very classy, I think. But we're gonna go out and put up some lights, and I sent the date out. Anybody who wants to join us, feel free. We're gonna try to pick a nice weather day. Um, but if anybody wants to join us, there's 9 bushes out there. And we're probably gonna put up some white lights, purple bulbs, what have you. We don't want it to be distracting from people driving or anything like that, but it's something I'd like to see if we can. Angie, we're gonna do exactly what we've been doing. Angie, can you get that? And thanks. And so yeah, it's kind of a start of something that I hope that over time could probably become bigger, or something we can do together. I think if we can have opportunities where we are together doing something, it just adds value. It adds value to the neighborhood. It adds caring to the neighborhood. And it's not just, I don't know. This is just my vision. Doesn't have to be yours, but anytime you guys want to join us out there doing anything, you are more than welcome. I like input because my brain hurts all the time. So we are doing that, and we are working on a calendar for at least half of the year for next year, of things that we're going to be doing. We have the shredding event, and we're going to try to have the dumpster day on the same one. And I do apologize about the last dumpster day. I just didn't get the information out soon enough. I will do much better, I promise, which I probably promised this time. But it's to do better. Right now, what I'm working on is getting a jump on as many things as I can, and actually completing some things that I started and some things that I said that I was going to do, which includes reaching out to landlords. And I have a strongly worded letter to send to them. But I also have to fight with them sometimes. There's a lot that goes on there. And realtors, the whole thing. I've gotten a couple of messages from different people with different but the same issues, and which is issues between neighbors. And what I try to do as president, what I try to do is be a liaison between you and a resolution to a problem. And whenever someone calls and you guys tell me something, there's no way I'm going to go and say, well, this is what she told me. And this is what I take if someone wants to be upset with me for reporting something to code enforcement, I don't really care about those things. I don't really care about those things. But I think, Angie, Rosa can't get into the meeting.
Okay. I'll send her a link.
Okay, thank you. And what I've gotten a couple of times is, hey, this neighbor, this is what's happening. This is just people who are not getting along. Recently, what I've had, and I just kind of went, I don't know what to do about this, even though a part of me, I found myself physically in the middle of it unknowingly. But with a neighbor who is not as mentally fit as being a good neighbor would allow. And we've had there's a lot of concerns, there's a lot going on there. And the most I can do in situations, I'll say like this one, where there's a renter, I can contact the landlord. I can do that. If it's still just so much, what I get is people saying, hey, as a homeowner, I shouldn't have to live like this. And I agree. I agree. I agree. But that's all I do is agree. I agree. And what I had recently is one neighbor was complaining about one, and I would just listen. I would go, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Then later, a year later, another neighbor calls and here's the problem. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. And what's happened is my name has come up in court. And one neighbor says, well, the board, the homeowners association knows about it. And all I've really done is listen. And at this point, I don't have those dramas in my own life that I know of. And I don't want those in any. I got enough stuff going on. So basically, I can be a liaison between the homeowner and the landlord. And if it's more than that, I can go, okay, as I did last night, Margaret, I have no idea what to do here. Can you help me? So that was I'm creating boundaries. As I mentioned, I am in therapy now. So I'm creating boundaries. And because I don't know, one, I don't know anybody, but, and not to take sides or, and people are telling their version or they're just flat out lying. And I don't want to report something that isn't true. I don't want to be used. I don't want any of the things that come along with the Hatfields and the McCoys. I don't want any parts of it. So I'll just start to say and find a really nice way to go, not my monkey, not my circus. That's what I'm going to start doing there. I did ask about the issue with the woman who kind of has the mental health issues, but she's actually being abusive to neighbors, like physically violent. And I did feel like I had to say something. And because it is my job to protect the neighborhood, I think. Um, but the other things, the squabbles and the, y'all, I don't know what to do about my own neighbor stuff. So I am working on these things. They take up a lot of time, and I get a lot of calls about spats between neighbors. I can write a letter, I can ask somebody what to do, but in my duties as president, it's really not, there's none of that is in the duties. None of that is in the duties, and trying to please everyone and make everyone happy, it's just not working. So some things like that, I'm gonna step back from a little bit. And if it's not something that's in the bylaws or that supports the overall community, I don't want any parts of it. We with me so far? We got more people. We're good. Just coming back just a little bit, I did want to know, because we have the meeting tomorrow with Be Green and Neighbor Space, what the neighbors, what you guys think about tree canopies in the neighborhood. I think they add value, but again, the safety is an issue for me. And it's not just my neighborhood, it's everybody's neighborhood. So if there's something I can go back and tell them, if I can go and tell them, no, we don't want this, or we're not interested, let's bark up another tree. I would like to know what someone thinks. Okay. Okay. So, okay, we're gonna let them do some see what they come up with as far as their drawings and stuff go. And we're just gonna put a lot of X's and O's on there, and it's just $16,000. And then we can figure out there's a grant that we'll be eligible for with the county early next year, and I'll see, you know, but I can't do it myself, which is the thing. I know some of you want to say something and some of you want to help with some things, but you just kind of go, no, no, I need to know. I need to hear it, just so you know. If you want to whisper it in my ear, that's fine too. Because the help is needed and the input is needed and very much welcome. We do have a lot of people who say a lot about what the association doesn't do, but I always roll the carpet out for anyone who has something that they think that we can do. And I'll always entertain those things. That what the association doesn't do, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Um, so yeah, just looking at my agenda and coming off of the safety parts that I feel with the tree canopies, that safety, and I'm going to roll this one out to Officer Benz Clark, who is just going to remind us that it is the holidays and all of those good things, and give us a couple of tips. Are you ready, Officer Benz Clark, or did I catch you?
No, I am ready, ma'am. I hope everyone can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, so tonight I have some holiday safety tips. Just to remember when you're out and about and shopping, keep your gifts and valuables out of sight. When you put them in your car, lock your packages in the trunk. At night, park in a well-lit area in the parking lot of the mall. And remember where your car is. That's big. You gotta remember where you parked at. Shop with a friend if you can. If you feel uncomfortable walking to your vehicle, you can always ask someone in the store. Um, a lot of times when I'm in Walmart, people may ask me to I walk them to their car. One may ask me how to put a TV in, but I said, I might have to get you a greeter for that, sir. But carry your purse close to you. Try not to leave it in the car. I am guilty of that sometimes myself. Have your keys ready when you're getting in the car. Stay alert and be aware of your surroundings. Don't overburden yourself with packages that your hands are so tied up you can't get to something easily if you need to. Avoid carrying lots of cash and flashing cash with your credit cards. Make sure that the clerk is scanning for your purchases only. Be aware of skimming. So you want to keep your credit cards close to you. Do not give out your card information to phone solicitors or anyone else. And try to avoid like just driving around town, maybe not knowing where you are and getting lost. If you can use your navigation or GPS, I would do that. You don't want to find yourself in an unfamiliar area because, crime is a thing of opportunities and we want to minimize our chance of being victims, okay? And if you're traveling, always make sure you have arrangements so your mail is not stacking up. You can always let the police know by just calling us and we do a vacant house form. And that's pretty much all I have. And I'm here for some questions if you guys have any for me.
And you are on mute. Let's see.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. I'd like to add to the excellent list. The first thing, everybody get in the habit of the first thing you do when you get in your car is lock your doors. Period. No excuse not to. That's going to deter anybody trying to steal your car, carjack you. Don't ride around with the windows down, particularly in a parking lot. You're an open invitation for somebody that wants to carjack, and the amount of carjackings going on now is unbelievable
Yeah.
compared to what they were just last year. So lock the door.
Yeah. And I'd love to, I keep pushing that everyone turn their front and back porch lights on, because it's more than you coming and going from your house. The lights together create more light. And that to me, it's one thing that I notice when I go out and I walk the dog, and I pay attention to what streets have lights. Barrett Road is good with the lights. I think there's portions of Claridge that have no lights and it gets really dark, but I think Kirkwood is the 1400 block of Kirkwood is not very well lit. And I always want to send out an email going, can you guys just turn those front porch lights on? You can get a bulb and the lights come on themselves, dusk to dawn. They have motion sensors and motion detectors. It's so easy. And I know that you go, well, you don't pay my my BG&E bill. I don't, but it's not a problem until it happens to you. It's a huge, the kilowatts aren't large. The usage aren't large until it happens to us. And that's something that it's something that I really want to work on, but I don't see other people kind of working on it either. Like our alleyways, I've heard that a lot of people don't park in the back of their property because it's not well lit enough. That's something that my understanding is that lighting, they want solar lighting everywhere, solar power everywhere. So it's doable, but I could do it. I could really advocate for it for the back of my house. But if nobody else is going to advocate for it for the back of their, what is the point? So I just like to see us turn those lights on.
Yes.
It's not a problem until you have to run home from the car. It's not a problem until then. So I just think it's the least we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else? And whenever you can catch those occasions where Kia and Hyundai dealers are doing the anti-theft lock systems, get them. Take advantage of them. I would do it, but my car it's in the shop being repaired after it was stolen. So,
Oh no.
but we can get, if nothing else, invest in a club. Last month we had Captain Hartman here, and he said that a club, if nothing else, they can see that they can't take the car. They can see it prior to going through the trouble of busting out the window and everything. So get that club, get that. I was going to get one that it attaches to the steering wheel and it hooks into now I have like the giant yellow one. Just no, you can see this up the street if you need to. But for the rental. But yeah, this is what's happening. And I don't know if it's going to get better, if it's going to get worse. I don't even think for sure it's the kids in our neighborhood. I'm pretty sure that it's kids. I'm pretty sure because there's so much of it happening. And we just have to be,
Diligent.
Yeah. It's just an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And
Hi, Jaquisha, this is Sharon.
Hey.
I'm on the phone. I apologize. I wanted to share something, if I could, about the carjacking.
Yes.
Several nights ago, about 12 o'clock, I looked out my door and I noticed a small SUV was backed into my husband's car. We went out to investigate. Come to find out, I guess it was kids had stolen it, and either they had run out of gas or they got frightened and they just jumped out of the car and left it and let it drift back into my husband's car. The police came and he said he had been sitting and he had seen it go by, but it wasn't going at a high rate of speed and everything looked normal. And he got a call from us like, I guess 10 minutes later that it was there. And when he went out and he pulled the tag and everything, he found out they had stolen the car from a neighbor who lived behind Sharon Cross Shopping Center. He had to call these people at 12 o'clock. I think it was maybe 1 a.m. by then, and asked them to look outside to see if their car was missing.
Yeah.
And of course, they were asleep. They did not know the car was gone. And they had to have the car towed. Luckily, it didn't appear to have any damage. I didn't see it. My husband was out there, and thank goodness, however they backed it into my husband's car, it didn't damage the car. But the police shared with us that that's a major problem, and they're trying to, just sit around and look for kids maybe driving erratic or speeding or something. He said, but this car didn't show any signs of it until, he came up and they had done whatever they do to the car. So the homeowners couldn't take the car back. It had to be towed to a shop. So I just wanted to share what he said. If you look out, you see something suspicious, don't put yourself, in harm's way. But if you feel it's something you need to call the police about, please do that. So I just wanted to share that with the neighbors. I was surprised as all get out, but it's just, it pays to, to look out your door and kind of see what's going on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I, last week, I think, first, I'll tell you, I called the police so much that I couldn't tell you what date it was, but one night I was out, walking the dog. We were coming up Sunset towards Barrett. We're coming up Sunset towards Barrett. And there was this, I don't know, there was just this car. It was in the parking lot of the elementary school. It's the only car. It's just a car. It backs up. Just a car, it backs up. And I just thought there was just something about it that it was odd to me. And there were two people in it. There's a light on the inside. There's no, they don't have the headlights on, and they pull out and there's no headlights still. And they just kind of drive out, and I thought, I don't feel right about that. And as I'm coming up Barrett, they pass me and they're driving back towards the elementary school still with no lights on. And I went ahead and I called the police, and it said it may be nothing. They may just need to turn their lights on, but it could also be something. So it was just, I don't know. I called and I always give my name. And if I see something else, I'll let you know. And the whole thing, it's just, we have to just pay attention to those things. We have to pay attention to the little things that stand out to us. For me, that's it on that topic of the agenda. If someone has anything else they want to bring. Okay, so this is the part where I say, last month we called for nominations for this seat as the president of the association. I would say that we did not get any. We had a board meeting a couple of weeks ago, and the board, I'll go ahead and say that they voted that they were confident in what I was doing and that I'd be on for another year. If anybody else says no, I think I saw her driving mopeds backwards on I-70 and that disqualifies me, please say so. I cannot drive a moped, so it was not me. Yeah, I want you guys to know that I take this, I give this a lot of energy, and I take it very seriously. And I do thank you for the vote of confidence, if that's what it is. That's how I'm going to take it anyway. Yeah, I'll continue to do the best that I can. And as I said earlier, wrapping up the year, I want to just kind of put to boots to butts some things that I said that I would do, and especially making contact with the landlords. I already have the letter sitting here. I just have to make the labels and send them off. Yeah, the new invoices and news that will come out in the newsletters at the beginning of the year. They will be done. Yeah, we definitely saved a lot of money on newsletters in the past year. But yeah, the plan is for it to get better in this upcoming year and to stay on track with it. I have asked the board for help, which is what I have a hard time doing. So at any time, if any of you have something that you want to share and you think it would be a good topic for the newsletter or to share with the community, I am here for it. I want to hear it. I will put it in a newsletter. I almost promise. But our next meeting, I think there's a holiday. Yeah. Our next meeting is scheduled for the 2nd of January. Will you guys be sober to attend? Hungover, head, let me, okay. Okay, if I have something to talk about and if I myself am sober, yeah, then we'll have a meeting on the 2nd of January. And in the meantime, you all know how to reach me if you need me. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. I was like, nobody's gonna get that. But you know how to reach me if you need anything, if there's anything I can help with, or just be a conduit for, let me know. I want you guys to have a happy holidays and a safe new year. And hopefully someone joins us for trimming the tree after I remember to buy the lights.
Yeah.
Jaquisa, I'm sorry, this is Margaret. I stepped away. Good evening, everyone. I just have a question for you. Were you aware that the trash didn't get picked up in Kirkwood? I stepped away, so I don't know if you brought that up tonight.
Would that would be the back? And the reason I know it is because I think someone from your community.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with.
Okay.
We've been having the same problem, but I haven't had any complaints from Edmondson Heights about trash not being collected except for this time. I just want to bring it to your attention. Maybe the residents on Kirkwood can let their friends and neighbors know they can't block park in the alley and block it on your trash day. Okay.
Yes.
The only thing I have.
Okay. Yes, guys, there was I did receive a text, but I also received an email from Department of Public Works that Kirkwood, the alleyway between Kirkwood and Forest Park, you're causing a problem.
Okay.
The garbage collectors can't get through. They can't get all the way through.
Right.
Or they have to back out.
Okay. Well, we can work together on that. I'm not going to top your meeting. I'm going to let everyone go. I know it's just a holiday month. I just want to offline you and I can continue to work together and try and keep things running smoothly. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, everybody, I'm gonna figure out or ask around about what schedule. It's sad that I have to do this. Ask about the schedule for that part and just kind of send an automated message that says, hey, don't park in the alleyway. Don't park in the alleyway ever, but on garbage nights. Nights that garbage has to be clear. Ed, you're muted. Yes, Ed.
Really, Jaquisa, that's all the time, because if an ambulance or a fire truck need to get up that alley, we need the clearance 24/7, 7 days
Okay.
a week, okay?
You are right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'd like to add on the garbage collection. Driving around, I've noticed people putting trash bags and recycle bags, plastic bags out. They're not picking up plastic bags anymore. I know.
Oh, for recycling.
Yeah.
That is true. I think
Yeah.
they leave a note. I know.
It came out a while ago, quite a while ago, that was going to be the new, no more plastic bags for recycle.
Yeah, I did it once, and they said no. And they left me a note, which was very nice of them.
Yeah.
So they do leave a note. So yeah, well,
Yeah.
they never did do it for me, but yeah.
And if I
Go ahead.
I can change subjects.
Sure.
I went to the Edmondson Heights school PTA meeting,
Yes, we did.
and that meeting about the safety and it was November 16th.
Yes.
And I'm not picking on anybody, but to be honest with you, for a general meeting of the PTA, I was, well, the only way I could put it, extremely disappointed. There were 12 people there.
Yeah.
Congressman Young was there, Councilman Young was there.
Yes.
And he had some good input. There was also a gentleman from Baltimore County, named Dr. Ford, I believe.
Yes,
Safety.
I think so.
Yeah, he was there, and he gave a lot of good information about what the school system did, referencing the shooting and how they dealt with the children in school. They had people in the school a lot, and are still offering the services. So that was good. Like I say, though, the biggest thing is, while everybody knew what I was talking about, the one thing I pointed out that really scares me is, particularly with elementary school children, I'm not against iPhones, but the fact that that's all they're looking at scares me. That's the only thing they pay attention to. Meaning they don't pay attention to traffic. They walk across the street without even looking, because they're looking at their iPhones. I come up Sunset to come to the alley to park, and there's been a number of times I'm doing 2 miles an hour maybe for that reason, and parents are opening the car door and let the kid run out. I'm going, come on, folks.
Yeah.
So, that was one of the big issues in the safety meeting, was parents have to be more responsible for what their children are doing.
Yeah.
So
Please.
I'm glad I went, but I was, for a PTA meeting. I remember when my son was in school, we go to a PTA meeting there, and there were 50, 60 people in there. So I understand a lot of parents work today, but you probably noticed I sat here, I ate dinner tonight while I was here. And you can fit things in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they did say that they were going to make an attempt to allow access virtually also. Which would be to just remove as many reasons why the parents can't go as possible, which is how we remain doing this virtually, because we actually get more people who join us virtually than at the school. One of the things, piggybacking on what you said, because I was there too, and Angela and I were there too, one of the things for me was that the kids, because I also attend other meetings for the school, the school is kind of like our kid. And I am interested in doing, and I spoke briefly with Councilman Young, is that things that help the kids celebrate themselves or have fun or be active. I am interested in having Edmondson Heights be a part of. We want the kids to be a certain way, but we've got to invest in them. We've got to invest in them and them doing something. And I mean, I think the kid you invest in today could be the kid that doesn't knock you over your head for your purse tomorrow.
Exactly.
So there's things like if we could just get them to not necessarily a whole formal thing, if they can use the basketball court and have adults join them while they play or teach them basketball or play softball. There's a lot just in that area on that grounds there that they could have access to. But I think there's just a lot of variables that are involved. And I think the huge variable are the parents and the adults.
Yes.
I think the community has a responsibility, and it's right there. And these kids walk through our schools all day long. And these are the kids that even earlier I said, I don't really think it's our kids that are still in these vehicles. We've got my interaction with a couple of kids in the neighborhood is what attracted me to this neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it was, I think that we have influence and we have to use it.
Yeah.
So figuring out how is another conversation with Delegate Young. That just rolls off my tongue. I'm sorry, Councilman Young.
Yeah, I do the same.
Yeah, he did make the offer for the problem of poor attendance. He did offer to create like declarations or something signed by the councilman for the kids who get perfect attendance, or I think it's not perfect, but 94% with their perfect attendance. So we thought that was great. And I just think that whatever, I think we work better together. If we work together to get some things done, I just think it would just be better for everybody.
Yep.
Especially for these kids. So that is it for me. And that's it for me. If nobody has anything else.
Jaquista,
yes.
this is Kathy on Harwell, and I just wanted to ask about how often the PTA meets and what time do they meet?
Oh, if I know, because I've only made it.
Okay. I didn't know if it was an every month.
No, after I've made it to maybe 3 meetings, but I know they meet once a month.
Yeah,
I will get that for you because I think they put it on our Facebook page too.
Okay.
But
I wanted to call you. Who's the principal there?
Aaron Roberts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna call up there.
Yes.
I was thinking about going up there to do some subbing, and our church has an affiliation with them, Grace AME in Catonsville, in terms of getting supplies and book bags and things like that. Okay. So I figured I better stick my head in the door and see what's happening.
Yeah, I was given a contact person to reach out to because they have a book fair coming up, and in the past we've donated to the book fair so that kids, no kid has to go without a book,
right? Because
they don't have the money. And she did give me contact information, but if you saw the desk area right here, yeah. But and I'm happy to share that with you.
That's cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I think we go ahead and put the PTA dates in the newsletter too.
Cool. That'd be great.
Yeah. So, okay. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah. Yes. At the PTA meeting, I gave the president of the PTA information on Chesapeake Bay Foundation, which has a
Love that.
tremendous
Program.
program for students,
Yes,
elementary
they
all
do.
the way up through high school. They can
Yes, they do.
participate in events that are productive. They,
Yes.
the key is involve them in activities that instill pride in their environment, as well
Yes.
as learning how to.
Yes,
take care of
I am a bit off in my scheduling on things, but I have often looked for and for different reasons, grants with the Chesapeake Bay for activity. They have a lot of maybe small grants for schools
Yep.
to do things with kids. So
Yeah.
I'm usually on the lookout, but I definitely
Yeah, they have a huge educational format.
yeah.
A great
Specific.
program. Great program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a grant with them. It's a whole
Yeah.
but if the science program thing we've got going on with the schools, and I can't wait. Hopefully I can be a part of what's going on at the school when they do it. But that's why the park is an issue, so that they'll have access to the park and they'll have access to the environment,
Yeah.
different elements in the environment. So yeah, let's see. Okay. Anybody got anything else?
I'm done.
Okay. All right, everybody. The next episode of Gilligan's Island is coming on, so I don't want to miss that part. I want to thank Miss Brazella for hanging out with me, and I wish everybody a happy holiday and a safe New Year.
Yes.
Thanks
Thank
for all
Good
you
night.
do. Same
And
to
to
you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.
Thank
To
you.
everyone.
Happy holidays, everyone.
All right,
Happy holidays.
Good night.
Be
Happy
safe.
holidays, everyone.
All right.